Welcome back to our third and final video about the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. This is just a few other things to note about the trip. First of all, students will sign a behavior contract come September of 2022, so the start of the school year, in which they are agreeing to behaving both while they are in school up until we leave for the trip, as well as agreeing to being on their best behavior while we are on the trip. Violation of this contract will cause the student to be removed from the trip. So, first of all, we make them agree to be well behaved students before we leave for the trip. Because we want to make sure that students can, first and foremost, control their behavior at school. And if there are students where they cannot control their behavior at school and cannot agree to that behavior contract, then we certainly don't want to be taking them on an out of state field trip to all of these important locations in Washington, D.C. And then while we are on the trip, students need to agree to be on their best behavior. And if students really have trouble with their behavior, part of this behavior contract is that they can be flown home at your expense. Novi has not had to do this in all of the years that we have gone on the trip, but other schools who take similar trips have had students who have had to return home. Most of the time with our students, if there is a problem with their behavior on the trip, it is rectified with a phone call home, because most of the time having students talk to their parents and weigh the option of either fixing their behavior or flying home, that conversation leads them to fix their behavior pretty quickly. This is just a note that we are well aware that medication is something that comes up when we're taking an overnight trip. This will be discussed in much, much deeper detail when we get to the mandatory parent meeting next fall in October 2022. So just a few notes. Forms will be available in the fall for prescription and over-the-counter medicines. So your students' chaperones will carry some medications with them like Tylenol, ibuprofen, Benadryl, Dramamine to try to keep car sickness at bay while we're on the bus for a very, very long time. And there'll be a form that you can sign that allows chaperones to give your student those common over-the-counter medicines. If your student has medication that they need to bring with them, whether it's an EpiPen, maybe it's ADHD medication, whatever it might be, there will be forms available in the fall. And then the medications will be turned into the main office at least 1 week prior to the trip. And then the group chaperone can disperse that medication as needed. So again, this is a very quick note about medications. We will go into it in much greater detail in the fall. This is just something that comes up that World Strides with their automatic emails will send you an email or mailing saying that your child can get high school credit by going on this trip. It's part of the company's automatic mailing, but it does not apply to us or our Novi students. Because Novi High School does not offer a class that matches this trip, students will not be able to earn high school credit. So you can just ignore that email or mailing when it comes. The other thing that the cost of the trip includes is a Novi hoodie as well as a t-shirt. It's included in the trip price. Shortly after you register, you will expect an email from World Strides and our rep, Tina DeSimone, requesting your child size. Please, please, please do not ignore that email or let it get shuffled down in your inbox. We really do need your child's size. These hoodies and t-shirts are adult sizes. They come in small, medium, large, and extra large. And keep in mind that you are choosing, perhaps very soon, a size that your child will need to wear come November. Your middle school child will likely grow during that time. So you might want to size up if you think that is appropriate. There will be a chance for students to bring in hoodies and t-shirts and perhaps swap them for another size in the fall once they get them, but do try to plan accordingly. When you order, the more accurate you can be, the smoother things will run in the fall. Up in the top corner and then this bottom note, you will see this white t-shirt with a blue logo on it. Do not order that when registering. That's through World Strides. We don't need that shirt. Your student will get their Novi gear to wear on the trip. So again, do not order the World Strides t-shirt. Your child will get an NMS t-shirt and hoodie. Then, I know this has been a lot of information, but in October of 2022, there will be a mandatory parent meeting about 2 weeks prior to the trip to finalize plans for Washington, D.C. It is absolutely important that you attend this meeting. We will go through another presentation where we talk in more detail about what to pack, student expectations on the trip. Medical forms will be passed out and collected. And it's another chance for you to ask any last minute questions that you and or your child may have. We will also do things like pass out the t-shirts and hoodies I just talked about. We'll pass out luggage tags. You can get questions answered about medication. We'll go into more detail about that. Talk about things like where and when to meet the buses, where and when to pick up your children when we return. So it is a lot of crucial information. You will absolutely need to plan on being at this mandatory parent meeting in October of 2022. Look for the date to come out in September around the start of the school year. So as we close, just to summarize some of the most important points, the trip base cost is $935, but there's one $50 discount if you register with a $99 deposit by January 31st of 2022. And then in addition, you'll get another $50 discount, so a total of $100 discount if you register with a $99 deposit by December 3rd of 2021. Again, Novi Middle School and Novi Community School District do not handle your money and your registration. All of that is handled by World Strides. So any registration forms, any money you're sending in, that goes through World Strides, not NMS. As I mentioned earlier, watch for and respond to the email regarding your child's hoodie and shirt size. Plan accordingly for growth. Students will select roommates during the first week of school in September of 2022. There will be 4 students per room. So your child plus 3 others. We'll go into detail about that process at the beginning of the school year. And then again, more details, trip info, medication info, etc. will be provided at the mandatory parent meeting in October of 2022.